It's truly the pinnacle of all creation. Such grace, elegance, otherworldly, even biblical virtue. This is truly the height of the human race's performance and existence. Because today we are going to gaze upon that of what the Lord never intended our eyes to see. Rodan with a bunch of DLC bits jutting out of his body. Titan Tech Rhodey from foot to head will be standing over 4 inches tall. What if we zoom out the camera a little bit here? From foot to tail, he will be standing well over 7 inches tall. So Rodan makes up for it in wing height and wingspan, as he is about as wide as my standard grade school ruler. Now I'll be frank with all of you, since being Rob is kind of cringe. Rodan has attained a brand new edible aesthetic to him. Can you see it? Can you feel it? Rodan now looks like a slice of bacon. Those lava trails, while fantastic, really do just bring on the very bacony aesthetic to them. This figure is quite literally the Oops All Berries variant of a bacon, egg, and cheese. Oops all bacon. Uncannily bacon, but I will give Playmates credit even with the very edible look of his wings. The paint and detail is very, very nice. It is kind of funny how the legs don't match with the rest of the wings and body. Very two-tony. But as you move on further and the more bacony aesthetic takes hold of your oculars, you really do begin to appreciate just how utterly stupid this is. I said something near the same when I reviewed Titan Tech Kong Fieri and Guchanka, and yeah, I'm going to be saying the same thing here. It's a transforming Rodan figure where he gets battle armor. It was ridiculous back in the 90s, it's ridiculous now. Back on track, it is kind of funny how the legs over here kind of match more so with the back of the figure than the front of the figure, and even then they're a little bit too bright. But I'm going to stop being myself and just start talking about the paint and detail again. It's really, really nice, although Rodan's eyes, they're pointing forward and such. I just really miss when these were orange and black and not white and black. I mean, KOTM Rodan's going to look insane no matter what. I think the only thing more insane on display here is that Playmates managed to make a Rodan figure, a KOTM 2019 Rodan figure, and he doesn't look like an emotionally confused penguin. Just bacon. Playmates does what band don't. As you probably saw before, the back of the figure is going to remain mostly unpainted, but it is going to feature quite a bit of detail, all of which is totally on par with the rest of the KOTM Rodan aesthetic. My guy be looking like a puddle of dried lava on the back, and breakfast on the front. Find you someone who could do both. I really do love the paint and the detail on Rodan's head and even on the inside of his mouth, as surprisingly enough, it really doesn't get lost in itself, you know? You can clearly tell the tongue from the rest of the figure. Maybe that's just due to the black paint used on his beak, which is kinda muffed up on my copy. If you saw the quality of the box he came in, you'd totally understand. The tips of his horns are going to be painted, the detail on the top of his head is fantastic. Oh yeah, his little claws are going to be painted right at the tip as well. Very nice. Both sides, yes. The toes will also be painted. His dew claws, however, will not, but the detail on the sides of the legs over here, very impressive. And just overall, holding this figure, looking at him under premium photography lighting and everything, yeah, he looks like bacon, but he also looks pretty damn cool. And again, I just really have to ask, Bandai, why couldn't you do something more like this? Indescribable, emotionally confused penguin, a New Jersey breakfast meat, who may or may not eat you alive. Despite his making bacon appearance and the very shoddy looking eye paint, I am going to give paint a solid star and detail a solid star. I don't remember how much I paid for this, but already Rodan's standard form over here has a lot more to show for it than that of Godzilla or Kong. So let's kick back, listen to some chill-ass tunes, and transform Rodan from his bacon variant to his robotic, mecha, armored, powered-up bacon format. Ah, fantastic. Like Godzilla and Kong, Rodan feels a hell of a lot more of an interesting figure once he's fully transformed, as there's just a lot more to look at and just not as baconness. Plus, the back of the figure gets some new paint and detailing once he's fully transformed, and to that, I tip my hat to Playmates. The little armor bits on Rodan's back looks great. It almost looks like it could be a cockpit of some sorts. Can you imagine flying a giant piece of winged bacon? And the little strips on the rims of his wings over here are really cool. They look very nice, rather uniform, and yeah, power armor-esque. The same could really be said for the back of Rodan's neck and his shoulder blades over here. Technobabble detail on a 2019 Rodan figure isn't something that I really thought I needed, but here it is, and I love it. Now when it comes to Rodan's little flesh flaps that you flip up, there will be some hidden details shown off here. Nothing crazy or overtly substantial, but still cool. Obviously, the major coup de grace here is going to be Rodan's new chest area, as it is just outfitted in buttons and doodads and lines and shapes and all different sorts of colors. And of course the monarch symbol, because Rodan now works for the good guys. And again, this is just ridiculous. But all this paint and detail revealed after a rather fun transformation. Solid star for that transformation, by the way. I don't know, it's just win-win. Yeah, it looks ridiculous, but when you're buying a figure called Titan Tech Rodan, or Titan Tech Godzilla or Kong, are you really expecting anything less jump the shark-ish? I mean, already, Rodan's a giant lava bird. Pterodon, Pteranodon, I don't give a shit. Kong's a giant ape, and Godzilla's a giant nuclear lizard. Are we really going to toss a titty fit over them getting power armor? I don't think so. See if I can keep that mindset for Godzilla x Kong when it releases. Now, when we move into the wings, I think they might be my favorite part to transform, just because I really do feel like there's no right or wrong way to transform them. I mean, I've seen this piece left up like this and out more so. I've seen these either fully extended out or in like so. I've seen these like that and that like that. It really does feel like you could do just about anything with these wings on either wing and it just fits. So even if I have these all placed entirely wrong before I move them about and such, it really doesn't matter to me because it's already ridiculous looking. The assortment of doodads and DLC hoosers over here being put or laid or articulated in a specific way, I really don't care. I've neglected articulation just because, I mean, in his normal form, it's just the head and the legs. In Mecha Bacon, Egg, and Cheese form, there's a lot more to do. And since most of it is directly tied to that of just moving everything into place, it really doesn't feel like you're doing anything wrong or right or anything like that. So not only does his alternate form just look cool, it gives you more things to move. Not just on the front, of course. The back, too. You can just lift all of this up and then turn the figure around, and he looks like a fully loaded Rodan mech about to unleash his screen nuke power-up in that of a Japanese space shooter. Again, it's not intended, but once more, I don't care. That being said, Rodan will have movement at the head, a little bit of a look up like so, and a bit of a look down like so. You will be able to also swivel his head all the way around, which, big credit to Playmates there, as none of this armor really affects his ability to move his head. Nice. And then the legs can kick up about that far and kick back about that far. They can't move in or out or anything like that, but it helps Rodan stand, which is more than most could say. I think that makes Rodan more than worthy enough of a solid star in terms of articulation. And like Godzilla and Kong before him, I'm probably just going to leave him in his transformed mode. Makes me a lot less hungry and he just looks cooler. So, size comparisons. Fire Rodan. KOTM Rodan. Huh? What? NECA Rodan, Haya Rodan, Titan Tech Kong Fieri, Titan Tech Guchanka. The trilogy is complete. Now give us a fourth. Some people say Titan Tech Mecha Godzilla, to which I say he kind of already is Titan Tech. He would just be more mechanical. Okay, I kind of want that. Well, hear me out, Playmates. Titan Tech Dog. I want him to be Dino Tank. Yeah, we'd be crossing over on the IP syndrome and everything, but Dog Tank. Please. And hey, if you want to pick up Playmates Titan Tech Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Oops All Bacon Rodan, you can do so in the link down below. I do so hope you all enjoyed this review. I will be back on Wednesday and Friday, 3 videos this week, finally. Be sure to check out all my social media, including my Patreon. This week's videos will all be available early, hopefully. Trying to get back into the swing of things, really. Anyway, see you all on Wednesday. Peace.